Oh boy, it's definitely a very big day in the info war, but the bigger battles are definitely ahead of us. But hey, at least we got this piece of meme history back officially.
What up? Bro, thanks for coming, man.
You're now podcasting out of an RV, brother.
How the mighty have fallen.
Right on time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. We all did a podcast with Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Ian Crossland, Drew Hernandez, Lydia, and Michael Malice, Blair White. An awesome, incredible time, which YouTube took down, and now they officially, for the first time in a long time, reinstated after many years of censorship. All of this is happening as there's also a lot of scrutiny against the ADL that just celebrated Alex Jones being deplatformed once again, as officially Infowars has lost their assets according to a federal judge that is at any moment, at any time now, going to be shutting down Alex Jones and Infowars. A story that you probably heard a bunch of times. Now, it looks like it's for real, but there actually might be something that the DOJ could be intervening on that could potentially bring back Alex, as Alex is going to bring back Alex. I have a lot of particular insight. I was actually with Alex during one of the key moments of this. I'm going to be seeing him in a few days, so I'm going to be talking about that and a lot more, all here when it comes to the kind of lifting of the veil and the boot off of our necks as independent media that I really wanted to specifically talk about in this video. So subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you, of course, spend with us. As earlier this morning, Tim Pool declared victory. Last night, we were on the Timcast IRL show, and he talked about, hey, my video, for some reason, a couple years ago, the second biggest, Darren Beatty's number one, the second most viewed Timcast video ever, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, myself, Tim Pool, and many others, was deleted for medical information. And he was like, I can't believe YouTube's doing this. YouTube, by the way, recently apologized for censoring people based off the political whims and feelings of the Democratic political party and the intel agencies. By the way, YouTube just also settled and had to pay Donald Trump $25 million as YouTube now is in the hot seat. And someone from YouTube must have overheard, oh crap, we deleted this epic video with Tim Pool, Alex Jones, Joe Rogan for, quote, medical misinformation, but didn't exactly quote what misinformation there was. It wasn't any type of misinformation. It was, in my own personal humble opinion, the intel agencies, the government coming down, calling them directly, saying, yeah, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Luke Rudowski, Tim Pool, all in one RV. It was a small RV. RV was rocking back and forth. Well, cancel them now. And YouTube's like, okay, and then probably someone heard it yesterday because we were talking about it on the show, and it was like, okay, let's bring it back. Tim Pool, I just talked to him now. He's talking about how also it seems like the weights have been lifted from the soft bans because there are algorithm bans, and a lot of people don't understand this, but there are a lot of fake weights attributed to your channel growing. Our channel has not grown in about 8 years. Now, for the first time in a long time, we're actually growing. Actually, people are saying, yeah, I actually subscribe. I actually click the notification button, and I actually see your channel. My views, bigger than I think ever. And I have a YouTube rep now. I get to call him, and I'm like, what? And deep down, this is probably not going to last. But for now, these are incredible changes in the information war that has recently made a significant impact on my own personal life. I mean, all I wanted to do is just to be treated like everybody else. I was like, I don't want no special treatment. I don't want any type of, DEI nonsense since, I'm a Slavic person of color, right? I filled out that questionnaire on YouTube. I was like, help me out, do that. But it didn't work here. So Alex Jones recently decided to start up his channel once again on YouTube. YouTube took it down. ADL celebrated that. Now, there was just a court decision by a judge that said, nope, Alex now has to sell the people that sued him will now be able to take whatever they want of his. And this is why Alex Jones released this video today saying Infowars has always been free to air. And it has been. I remember back in the early 2000s when me and Alex Jones were interviewing each other and doing events together and making movies together. What we always said is the content, the information's free. Get it out there. Burn it on DVDs. We had huge, and this was such a powerful moment to the power of viralness, to the power of, listen, a lot of people made movies and they're like, give me money. We sell now. Give me. We did the opposite of that. We made movies. We made documentaries. We did hardcore investigative journalism. And we got it out there to the general public. And I remember back in the day, I was still even afraid to ask for donations when we weren't even monetizing it in any way, shape, or form. Right? And we had these huge, and I remember being in a room, and we bought these huge things. Some of them were even donated to us. These huge DVD duplicators, back in the day of DVDs. And we would get Endgame, and we would get Not 11 Chronicles, Truth Rising, and we would get Obama Deception. And then we would just like constantly buy DVDs. It would look really ratchet, didn't matter, and just hand them out. We gave out hundreds of thousands of DVDs, millions of flyers. All because of the information war, which is more important than ever. This is why Alex Jones just released this.
It's free to air, do whatever you want. We are free to air, though. Free to air. All of it's free to air. Everything I do, everybody can use it, whatever. I don't care. Just get it all out. It's all free to air. Everything I do is free to air. The show is free to air. We're free to air. It's all free to air.
Alex made some other announcements. We're going to be playing those other announcements in a little bit, because there's also a lot of a different history here, as well as the potential of this backfiring and the people taking everything away from Alex. Again, it's just crazy that this has lasted so long. And now it's all finally crescendoing here. Now, before talking about that, playing more clips and going into the deep dive of where alternative media stands, especially with the ADL now being officially canceled by the FBI, they should be canceled by PayPal and YouTube too immediately. Anyway, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up for that, what are you doing? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. I'm just going to give you a short little synopsis of what's going on here. You click the link down in the description below. You come over here. Signing up is quick, it's easy, it's simple. You put in your information, 20 cents a day, $8 a month, one Starbucks yuppie drink. That's it. Like, listen, I have one too. I'm traveling. I'm not on the road. I don't have all my health stuff. Sorry. But one of these drinks, that's all it is. And especially with just how crazy things are. If you have the money, we appreciate it, and we are greatly appreciative and humbled by your support. You get access to me one-on-one. We're going to be doing online events where we, of course, get to talk to each other, get to share tips, tricks, and you guys get to call in. It's going to be a members-only thing. I'm going to announce that shortly. So sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. 3 masterclasses, seed oil cards, exclusive merchandise, you name it. We got it all on LukeUnfiltered.com. See you in the chat room. When I'm on Tim Cow's IRL, I'm literally in the chat room for my members, and I'm like, hey guys, what do you guys think? What should I say? As I'm researching, studying, and I'm like, all right. And there was some good stuff that was shared with me last night. So I appreciate all of the people, all of the members, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. Again, there was a day and age where I was doing all this stuff, sleeping on couches, being broke, having like less than a couple $100 in my bank account, and I was like, I love this. But I was able to literally spend all my money on the information war. I was able to spend all my money giving everything out, everything for free. And you got to give it to Alex. He's a very successful businessman. He's a very smart entrepreneur. But he gave out everything he did for free. All those documentaries, all the hard work. He's like, here you go. And he is, whether you like him or not. And again, we had our own personal beefs. For 10 years, we didn't talk. We had a big fight. I known him for 20 years. 10 of those years, we didn't talk. And then he comes up in my RV with Tim Pool as I'm napping, talking about how he loves me and I was his ex-boyfriend. I'm like, wait, what? what the hell? Am I still? I don't understand what's going on. Is this like a weird dream or something? Like, what? This is. He was, of course, being facetious, and a little under the, he had a little drink. Anyway, he's doing a lot better now, as now a federal judge just officially greenlit the shutdown. And as he described, how there were multiple court proceedings, and the judge here in this case ruled down 10 motions. This time he approved the motions. This is what Alex had to say about the whole scenario that he's dealing with right now, which is important because, again, Alex is the canary in the coal mine. Alex is the guy who, we have to understand, led the front. He's the first person on the beach, on the battlefield, and he pioneered it through. Give credit where credit's due.
Lopez would never be part of the fraud they brought him. But at the end of the day, like Pontius Pilate, he said, I'll give you what you want, and signed off on it today, which my lawyers thought. I mean, their filing is so horrible. It's all their quotes and admissions. We don't want money. We want to shut him down. This is political. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, we rigged the, we deposed him, and they said, yeah, we rigged the auction. We don't want you to have it. That's fraud. That's criminal. But listen, the DOJ is still investigating. You think you got that killed? Think again. You wait till your little deputy AGs. Okay, we knew we were thinking way ahead of that. Thanks for showing yourself. Just a little more weight. We're getting close.
Now, he's hinting at something interesting here, and we'll get into that in just a little bit.
Civil stuff, and you think you shut this down and magically the money goes away. No. Now that we're going to be...
Yeah, I don't know what a lot of these people are thinking. I mean, Alex is very persistent, and he talked about the show's going to go on. All of our content's free out there to the general public to use as they please. Now, they're probably going to try to stop that in order to just try to stifle or try to sell or try to destroy. And this is why Alex is coming out saying everything's free, and it always has been. And it has been. And he's not just doing that now because of these court proceedings. But now because of these court proceedings, they're going to try to take his name, his likeness, his show, his website, his archives. And I don't know what they're going to be doing with it, but clearly this is very politically motivated. This is not about compensation. This is about humiliation, right? They don't want to be compensated. They want to hurt Alex. Now, Alex is like, you know what? I could do whatever I want. I'm a free person, and I'm going to do that. There's going to be other studios, other shows, other companies, other businesses that are just not in my name, that I won't have anything to do with, that I'll just keep showing up. And when I do show up, I'll just do what I do. You're going to stop me? Go ahead. And you got to appreciate that type of vigor here, because they're talking about, oh, we're going to own him. We're going to tell him what to do. We're going to pretend to be him. And there's going to be an aspect of that we should look out for, as Alex now is telling everyone to go check him out on Twitter. He's telling people to check out. Again, I'll be in Austin in a couple days, so we'll see exactly what's going on here, and whatever it is, we'll notify you guys so you guys can know exactly what's going on here as well.
Yeah, the bankruptcy. All these backers can legally back us and do all this stuff. And as long as Mr. Jones never touches any of it, you can't do anything. And so you think you've won, the war just begun. You just act like Admiral Yamamoto, or you just act like Emperor Hirohito right after they hit Pearl Harbor. You just sit back and you just adjust your suspenders and you play with a little pee-pee and you...
You gotta respect the creativity with Alex. That's what I always like about him. He always has a very verbose way of expressing himself. As Bloomberg Law writes, Alex Jones' bankruptcy doesn't shield Infowars assets, judge says. As he says, the people suing him are now free to pursue Infowars assets to satisfy their debt that they're owed. And it's not, and again, this right here, to satisfy a debt, no, they want to humiliate him. Not about money. Let's just be honest. A judge said, rejecting arguments from lawyers for the company's owner, Alex Jones, that the asset's legal status was, quote, unclear. The litigation pauses in the right-wing conspiracy theorist Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which also prevents creditors' collection efforts, doesn't apply to assets of Infowars' parent company, Free Speech LLC. Judge Christopher Lopez of the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Texas said during a Wednesday hearing, Free Speech Systems' own bankruptcy proceedings was dismissed last year. The language of the June 2024 dismissal order and subsequent related ruling is deeply confusing, said Jones' attorney. Lopez expressed frustration at the comment, saying the language was careful to avoid any misunderstanding and suggesting that Brooks isn't versed in bankruptcy law. He's Alex's lawyer. The family has always been embroiled in lengthy legal battles with Jones, who owns more than $1 billion in judgment for something that he didn't even have a court proceeding on. I remember actually being with Alex. I had dinner with him. And before the news broke, he kind of came in. He was like, yeah, they just ruled against me. They ruled I'm guilty without even a trial. And I'm like, what? Like, huh? He's like, I couldn't even have a trial. Now, they said he wasn't complying with disclosures. He wasn't complying with providing the needed documents. So the judge said, you know what, fine, you're guilty. And that was just weird, right? To have someone who wasn't even able to defend themselves. And the court proceeding that we saw was the sentencing, right? And he wasn't able to bring up a lot of things saying, hey, I should be innocent here. It was already ruled he's guilty because he wasn't allegedly complying with forking over all the stuff. And I remember being when he was like, I forked over everything. I gave him everything. They even took his text messages and then they leaked it to the press, right? One of his lawyers accidentally was like, oh, here we go. And then the other lawyers like, yeah, we got him. Look at the text messages. And I'm like, really? Like you're going to be that nasty? You're going to be that kind of like disgusting to try to get rid of someone's private, personal messages? As again, you make a false claim. $1 billion judgment, that is just absolutely crazy. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this kind of proceeds, because there's probably going to be police officers showing up, being like, okay, now it's ours, now we own it, now we get to do whatever we want with it. Now, who's going to be carrying out those orders? That's going to be interesting here. As a lot of people are still saying, there's going to be a lot of details that are still going to need to be hammered out here. As the Houston Chronicle writes, sale of Alex Jones Infowars in limbo because bankruptcy trustee hasn't found a buyer. Now, this was released yesterday, as of course the decision just came in a few hours ago, and we were talking about it yesterday. Now, who might potentially be the buyer? I don't know if anyone is going to be the buyer, but now the people that sued Alex are going to be able to go to Infowars and be like, okay, we're selling this. Okay, we're buying this. Okay, we're taking this. Okay, we're doing this with your company. Again, $1.3 billion. That is just wild, insane, crazy, egregious, unusual, and cruel type of punishment. As ABC News now is reporting that a top DOJ official suggests that there should be an investigation into FBI agents who sued Alex Jones in this defamation case. A top Justice Department official sent a letter earlier this month to the attorney for an FBI agent who was among the first to respond to what happened at this event that triggered all of this, suggesting that he could be under criminal investigation for taking part in a defamation trial of Alex Jones. Now, this is going to be the interesting part here, since Alex just met with Ed Martin, who is a part of our justice system today. So that's going to be interesting. As, listen, the ADL here was just recently canned by the FBI. I think Kash Patel just found this out, and he's like, why are we still officially partnering with this organization that literally is cheerleading Alex Jones getting censored and banned here? And of course, they have a whole bunch of propaganda against Alex Jones and slanders. They run defense for Antifa. They talk about how TPUSA and Charlie Kirk and Christians are extremists, but Antifa is just some kind of group. Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, they're just a regular bunch of people, Antifa. Again, which is just absolutely wild and crazy. They released this message. We're glad to see YouTube acted to remove Alex Jones. And again, this is an organization still working, PayPal, YouTube, working at all the levels here of power, saying, you don't promote left-wing woke ideology? You hate all people from a certain ethnicity. I'm like, wait, what? I'm just not a lefty. I'm just not. We got to cancel you. And they do. And listen, I think we're going to find out through these investigations that there was probably a more coordinated effort here by the intel agencies to try to undermine, attack, and destroy Alex Jones, his work, his property. And again, so far the FBI hasn't intervened here, which is interesting because a lot of people are saying the DOJ should probably intervene. This is an egregious type of legal lawfare case, in my opinion. And the fact that nothing has really been done here and they allowed this type of craziness to kind of proceed here is highlighting how a lot of people say that they're not taking the situation seriously enough. Now, what are we going to find out with these investigations, with potentially Ed Martin revealing and releasing a lot of important information that Alex Jones has met with before, that he went to Washington, D.C. before? I hope a lot. Is this going to be the end of Alex Jones? Nope. He's only going to get more persistent, bigger, stronger because of this. Let this be the Streisand effect. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your support. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank Alex enough for being persistent, leading the pathway. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching, subscribing, clicking the notification button. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.